haven't made a talking video in forever, but me and the kids are on our way to Artesia, New Mexico, and we stopped off at our good friend's house to spend the night. Last night, there are 3 pro rodeos in Artesia, New Mexico, and it's about 9 hours. So we are just working our way there, and I'm going to try to do a better job of documenting a little bit.
I don't know what to connect this to. I think I might.
We are at the city park in Hobbs, New Mexico, waiting on my friend Megan to meet us with some Roses Cafe. And of course, we are being as inconvenient as possible, but that's okay. We needed a nice place to stop. Easy peasy.
$19.08, 19 and
I'm at 3 pro rodeos in a row in Artesia, New Mexico, and tonight is redemption night. The first day was in slack, and when I tell you my run is so bad, I don't want to show it. My run was so bad, I'm not going to show it. No, really, it was just my first barrel. But we're going to try to clean some things up, and we're going to try to make things right tonight. So wish me luck. Well, I guess now that I got my phone fixed, I can flip the camera and we can talk about Artesia. So, I went to Missouri to get out of the mud. It dropped 3 inches before my performance. And so then I came home and went to New Mexico, to the desert. And it tried to rain there, but it didn't, thank goodness. And I did not feel like I had a sound horse after my second run. I really think he's just hauling sore, just being in the trailer for basically, over a week's long period, 20-ish hours. It was a lot. And any kind of like a little inflammation that they might have after standing in the trailer with the heat and the road vibration is just gonna kind of accumulate. It's going to be a little exaggerated once you go to make your runs somewhere. And so even though we took a lot of breaks, we couldn't stay still for too long because it was hot in the trailer. Spencer doesn't sweat. He has anhydrosis. So I was constantly, like every 2.5 hours, pulling over, giving him water. Whatever water he didn't drink, I would, throw over his back, and then on we would go. And so we had lots of breaks, and we scheduled overnight stays every 5 hours. So he didn't have to spend a lot of time in the trailer, but it has been probably 2 years since he's had to have any work done on his knees or his feet as far as arthritis goes. I keep him on Adequan, and it's been about a year since I did the Adequan series, which is basically every, I think, 6 or 7 days you give a shot of Adequan, and then monthly after that. Well, I did the series, and I actually did my shots every 2 weeks, and haven't had to do injections in 2 years, but I think that it was definitely time to do another Adequan series. And so we're going to go for a little vet check Tuesday at Outlaw Equine in Decatur. let Josh look at him, and Dr. Harvey will give us a really good idea of what's going on. He may not even be sore when we get there. We've been home for a few days. He's been resting. It really might have just been road soreness, but I just wanted to check him out and just make sure that, like, he's fine. And we'll do another Adequan series, and if we have to have something injected just to, like, make him more comfortable ASAP, that's what we'll do. I turned out of every single rodeo that I was entered in at the time, with the exception of Springdale, Arkansas, and that's only because it was like 3 weeks out. So it's at the last weekend of this month, and so he would have a week and a half after his vet appointment. So, you know, when you get him injected, they just say, like, depending on what they inject, if it's his knees, it's like a 3-day thing. You can give him off for 3 days, you're able to get back on him. If it's his back, I always give him longer, but I feel like everything's good, but maybe his knees are starting to bother him, and maybe just standing in the trailer and hitting all the stupid potholes and, you know, all the things. No roads are good right now, but I think between Oklahoma and Louisiana and New Mexico, we have driven on some of the crappiest roads in the country. So it just is what it is. It happens. I turned out in my last run in Artesia, I just didn't feel like it was worth risking an injury for him compensating for soreness. You know, you don't ever want them to, like, compensate for a little muscle soreness and then hurt themselves because they're trying to use themselves in a way they normally wouldn't, to bypass that soreness. And so, you know, it's hard to enter a rodeo 10 hours away, to drive there, to drag your kids. But we did go do fun things. We went to the caverns. We went to Sitting Bull Falls. That place is very nostalgic for me because before my dad passed, he owned a place there. And so we drove by a few times, and I just love that part of the country, and I don't get to go that way very often. So we had fun, but we were not going to risk injury to him. And so I think it's disappointing, and it's definitely hard to drive 10 hours, enter 3 rodeos in a row at the same location. Artesia had 3 pro rodeos, day rodeos in a row, and they were professionally sanctioned PRCA rodeos. It never happens. And my friends were there, and obviously I don't see them very often now that I've moved 10 hours away. I wanted to do well, really, really, really well for everybody. And it's disappointing not even making your last run, but I know in, like, my gut it was the right call, and I have never one time regretted following my gut. If it means turning out of all the rodeos and paying $400 in entry fees and fines, so be it. I love that dang horse. He is my bestie. So I'm sorry for the long vlog. I just wanted to, like, give you guys an update, and this is a long one. Sorry.